Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Driver Wars. This is the Canadian Grand Prix here at the Beaupierre International Circuit. Here we are watching Jacob now about to start his first lap. Here, as this is now the end of his out lap, we are doing a new format here, which is essentially called 1 point. Okay, right. And he has crashed. Jacob has crashed, which is very unfortunate. He's going to have another out lap and another hot lap. Essentially, we are doing 1 point qualifying, which, we're doing a 1 point hot lap, which essentially, you do a hot lap, and whoever gets the fastest time gets 1 point. Now, this does not affect the qualifying order for the grid at the start of the race. However, what this does affect is the points that are being scored. Let's say Jacob gets a faster time than Alex does. He will then get 1 point. But let's say Alex finishes ahead of him in the race. Jacob then gets 2 points and Alex also gets 2 points. That is essentially 1 point qualifying explained. You have 2 laps, you have an out lap, then you have a hot lap. Now, I am currently not in a call with these guys, so I do not know if he is on his hot lap or if he is currently on his so I do not know whether he is on his hot lap right now or whether he is currently on his or if he's on his out lap. So we're just gonna have to wait and see here. As a Fexeline car crashed in the wall as Jacob's going now to the hairpin just before we get to the bridge. It's about as like as usual. Blame it on Roblox, not on my device. Just so you know. As he's now coming through the final corner now to start his first hot lap. I say first, his second hot lap of the day as he comes through here into the first corner, pushing like hell. Going then a little bit wide here as we ride on board with him now. As I've got to set my volume a little bit up. As he's now going through the triple left-hander now. That's a 1, that's a 2, and it was also a 3. Now it's a right-hander here. Coming up now into the braking zone then for this left-hander. It's a very sharp corner. There's a Red Bull on the sausage curve. Going into the DRS zone, activating the DRS. Now currently on the way forwards. And he's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's hit the wall. He's gone very unlucky there. Okay, then he's back on the straight now. Turning a sharp right into the DRS zone. Okay, then he's gotten past the hairpin, coming up over the bridge, not messing up, taking the second to last corner and the last corner really well as he sprints to the line. Let's see what lap time he gets. Can he improve on his 1:14.4? No, he cannot. But it still counts as a lap. And this is now his in-lap, I believe. Congratulations to Jacob. And I will just quickly clarify what lap time he got there. And it's lights out and away we go here in Canada today. As we get the run onto the first corner, Jacob here, almost in plumb last. This is not the usual showing we get for him right now. And Alex currently making up positions now in the pack. Jacob sitting near the back of the grid. This is unfortunate. It was a bit of a delayed start from me. That's my fault. As they come here into the third corner now. Alex taking it quite slowly in the racing point. He's slowed down quite a little bit, although that might just be how I'm seeing things. Jacob's also slowed down quite a bit. What is going on here? They're falling in plumb last. Although we're not focusing on anybody else here. We're focusing on those two. Alex currently running up in 8th and Jacob 2 places behind him. Now on the run up to him now. Trying to make the overtake and he has made it. Jacob is ahead of Alex now going underneath the bridge. This is absolutely sensational as they go into the left-hander now. Through the right-hander. Just before the DRS zone with the continuation of the right-hander. And another right-hander. So many right-handers. And Alex is going to get get the DRS now as he hits the curb and goes flying almost. And he's got the DRS going up the hill, overtaking the other racing point. The Williams has got the run though into the corner, and he still is in front. Alex still frantically trying to make the overtake happen as he goes onto the bridge. We've just got to hope that none of them spin out. They go down off of the bridge onto the main straight. Alex has got ERS and he's got slipstream. Has he got the run on him into the first corner though? No, he doesn't. Jacob remains in front, using ERS and track position for all of his might as they go into the next left-hander, as we now follow on board with Alex just to see what's going on here. As he may have had the run on Jacob now. He may be ahead, although I'm not entirely sure on this. As Jacob still remains ahead, they are within a second of each other. This is absolutely amazing racing as Alex goes for the overtake into the next corner. He doesn't make a stick though. He will have DRS though going onto the straight, as we will see here going down the hill now. Just coming into view now. Jacob just ahead of Alex now by almost a second. Maybe even less than that as they now go onto the second straight going underneath the bridge. There's a Red Bull there who's lost his front wing and maybe even his tyre as well. As they go into the next corner here, it's the right-hander just behind the Fexeland car. The Williams now going down the mini straight. Alex still behind. The Fexeland car spins. Alex is going to have DRS and he's going to have ERS. Jacob not deploying any of his ERS though as they go onto the straight now. Wow! As they now go into the hairpin, Alex still trying to gain time on Jacob now. They've got similar tyres on, but remember there's still 8 laps remaining in this. As Jacob now goes down the hill to the right, still moving forwards now, even in lap times as well, as it seems, as he's improving now. As Jacob goes to the first corner, Alex following him closely, trying to gain on him. Jacob in the better car, seems like he's going to get more points today than him. And after the race, we're going to have to see what the amount of points will be for the end of this, as the race started earlier than expected, as Alex is following Jacob really well now as the Fexeland car gets in between them. Jacob now in third, Alex in fourth, and we have the Fexeland car in between them that we're ignoring as he goes wide now. The Fexeland car now has the DRS as he gets the run on Jacob. Alex also has DRS and he's got ERS, and I believe he's got faster top speed too, although I'm not entirely sure on that one. Jacob's got a little bit wide, so is Alex. You're going on to the next straight underneath the bridge onto the left-hander. Alex still trying to gain time. The Fexeland car now behind Alex. Jacob now catching up to second place now, who is currently inside of an AlphaTauri. He's still on the softs though, and he's still not crashed at all, which is quite surprising because at this point usually someone would have crashed, but nobody's crashed in between those two. And Alex still trying to gain time now, going up the hill and to the left and into the hairpin, into the braking zone for it at least. And Alex is still trying to gain time here as we go onto the fourth lap of the race, going over the bridge now, just hoping that none of them spin as they push flat out going over the bridge. Alex gaining a lot of time there though. Jacob using ERS. Alex has got the ERS and he's got the slipstream though going into the first corner. He is not going to make the overtake though. He's going to wait a little bit as we still have 6 laps remaining though. As he goes for the overtake though, coming off of the S, and he's still behind him going into the triple left-hander. That's 1, that is 2, and that is a 3rd. Before now entering that S as well, going right now. And Alex is still just behind Jacob here, as we now right on board with him, trying to follow as he goes for the overtake into the hairpin. Doesn't make it stick though, but he has got DRS now, and he's probably using that, but I can't see. Yes, he is. He's got DRS, he's got ERS, he's got the slipstream, and he's probably got the slower car as well. And then I go under the bridge. Alex still trying to gain time on Jacob, but it's not happening. He's not finding it anywhere in the lap. He's got more of a chance later in the lap than he does at the start, as Jacob is still maintaining that lead in this Canadian Grand Prix now, as Alex has got more ERS, DRS and slipstream as they go onto the straight. Is he going to make it though? Into the hairpin as he goes right into that. He will make it stick. Alex is ahead of Jacob now. Wow! And they now go down under off the bridge. Jacob gets back in front onto the straight. Wow! As they now go into the first corner, Alex going back down the inside of Jacob into turn 2. This battle is amazing as Jacob's going to look up inside of Alex, getting the slipstream now, going into the triple left-hander. That's 1, that's 2, and that is 3 now, going into the S's. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. Jacob coming back at him now, though. Not going to make his stick, though. Going into the next corner here, though. He's got within 0.2 of a second, as he's now got DRS, he's got ERS going down the hill, and I'm not going to ride on board with him, because this is amazing, as they're both glitching out. Going into the next left-hander, Jacob has gone a little bit wide there. Alex has still got the advantage there going underneath the bridge. Jacob's got the run on him, and he's made the overtake again. And it's now Jacob leading from Alex in this race. As they're going now into the right-hander as Alex is trying to gain time again. Going into the next right-hander just past the stricken Alpha Aston Martin as Alex has made the overtake again. And he's ahead of Jacob now. He is ahead of Jacob going onto the bridge on the 5th lap of this race. It's all going down to the wire as they're now going to cross the line to start their 6th lap. As Alex is now on the mediums, he's maybe start thinking about pitting at some point. As he's now on his 6th lap, Jacob coming into the pits though. Let's have a look at how fast this stop will be. He's in there, and let's see what tyres he's going on. He's going onto the softs, maybe until the end of the race. Maybe that's a good strategy call, maybe it's not. Alex going 1, 2, and now even 3, as he's now entering the S's with the Formula X car just ahead of him. As we're now watching him then go into that right-hander, maybe even getting a little bit of time there going onto that straight, as we're now going to ride on. And Jacob now, for some reason, looks like he's still in the pits, but he finished the race in the pits technically. But we are still on the 6th lap right now. Alex is still leading though, with a good gap. He may even pit on this lap, or maybe in 2 laps time as he is on the mediums, as he's now about roughly 15 seconds ahead going into the next right-hander. Obviously Jacob will be faster, he's got the better car, and he's got the better tyres on, as he's got newer now. I was wrong at the pit stop, he was on softs, but now he's changed to mediums. And now Alex, will he make the strategy call to get inside the pits now, or will he go to the end of the race? It's now his time to choose, as he chooses to stay out, which is not a bad call to be honest, as he crosses the line for a 7th lap now. And he goes into the right-hander now, in first corner, going down the hill now, into the left-hander. Now as we ride with Jacob here, going over the bridge now, hopefully not going to spin, because that spinning on that bridge is fatal, as we have learned previously. And he's now crossing the line to start his 7th lap as well, as we now go with Alex, going through the S. What was that voice crack? And now going into the next left-hander here, as he's taking it well, going onto the DRS straight. And he's not got DRS, but he's using his ERS going down the hill. Jacob, however, going through the triple left-hander. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3 going into the S's now. He's close behind Alex. I'd say maybe even 10 seconds here as he goes into the next next left-hander here, sorry. As he's now going onto the straight, about 5 seconds, maybe even 10 or 7.5 after Alex has. And he's now going right in front of the BMW there, going to the double right-hander here. Now even the triple right-hander going onto the DRS straight, right next to the Aston Martin. And that BMW will have DRS as we now go into practice in this current session. And I won't be able to spectate anybody else bar Alex for now, as Alex is now the most important one because he's starting his 8th lap now as he goes onto the straight. AlphaTauri right behind him, starting his 8th lap now, out of 10, as he goes into the first corner here, going through down the hill into the left-hander on his 8th lap. As he now goes up the hill now, flattening out, going into the 1, that's a 2, coming around the corner now, that's 3, going into the S's, that's now the right-hander here, just before the left-hander, and the first DRS straight off the lap, as he's now entering the braking zone, going over the bump there. That's a very interesting line to go through there. Now going through the DRS zone, down the hill he goes, still watching him here, going into, he's got DRS as well, going into the braking zone now. He used DRS and DRS, going to the double left as the not the Aston Martin, the AlphaTauri hit the wall and went sliding there. That was not that unexpected, knowing that section of track, as Alex is now as Jacob is now here, also on his 8th lap, going through the double right-hander. Alex just ahead, going into the hairpin. Alex will need to pit in a minute though, as he's now going to be coming down the hill to start, down the bridge to start his 9th lap now. So he's now on his penultimate lap, going into the first corner here. He's going through 1, now going down the hill and up to the left into turn 2, as Jacob, however, now starting his 9th lap too, as my internet has decided to go pretty bad on me. And Alex just a bit ahead, as we can see here now, going through 1, 2, 3 into the right-hander now, coming up the hill though, into the left-hander, onto the straight, as Jacob is now going to be coming through the left, through the right, up the hill, to the left, through the DRS straight as well. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Alex has somehow made those mediums who are currently now screaming for their dearest lives. Last 9 laps. I think he's going till the end of the race. Not worth pitting at this time, as Jacob is still catching. He's catching and catching and catching, and he's trying to get better. But unfortunately, it's just not happening, as Alex is now in the DRS zone. Jacob following close behind. Now also going into the DRS straight in a second, as we now ride back on board with Alex going through the hairpin now, over the bridge, and he's going to be starting his final lap in a second. And going through the lefty, going through the righty, and he's going to cross the line now to start his 10th lap of the Grand Prix, as he's now going through turn 1, still going on the power, up the hill and left into turn 2, as we are now riding on board, now riding with Jacob here, going to the right, down the hill, back up the hill, into turn 2, up to the left. And we're now going to go back with Alex here. He's going 1, 2, 3 into the S, to the right. Now he's going to be going up the hill again, and he's going to be having that left-hander now into the next DRS straight here, which he'll be able to activate his DRS in a second here, as there's Jacob now going up the hill as well onto the DRS straight. He's not that far behind. Maybe he'll be able to catch up to Alex, as Alex is now in the braking zone for the next turn, and Jacob is now currently going to be in the braking zone now as well for the next corner. Alex really losing time here to Jacob. He's on the better tyres just in general. And Alex are going through the right hand, going very slow here on the final lap of the Grand Prix, as we have Jacob now going through that corner too. Alex on the DRS straight now. Jacob just starting the DRS straight now as well. On to the DRS straight he goes. Alex currently now through the hairpin, over the bridge. And Alex, if he does not crash, goes right, left, right, onto the straight. Alex has won his 3rd Grand Prix in a row. That's a Canadian Grand Prix win for Alex. And Jacob comes home to take 2nd. Wow, what a race that has been. And that has been 10 laps out of 10 completed. Congratulations to Alex. And congratulations certainly are in order here, as Alex will probably start doing his signature donuts in a minute, as we now going to be riding on board with him. Still going flat out, even though it is their cool down lap, as Alex has won